The only black male anchor on Fox News is speaking out about alleged racial discrimination at the cable channel. Kelly Wright's claims are part of a class action lawsuit filed this week against Fox News. At least 11 current and former employees accuse executives of fostering a, quote, culture of severe racial harassment. The suit says Fox ignored their complaints for years.
Now, Fox News denies the claims and says, quote, "We will vigorously defend these cases." An emotional Wright yesterday explained his decision to join the suit.
I want to make it possible for whoever fills my shoes, that next generation, to never go through this.
Only on CBS This Morning, Kelly Wright is here along with his attorney. That's Douglas Wigdor, who is representing the plaintiffs in the case. Welcome, gentlemen, to the table this morning. Kelly, I want to start with you. That seemed to be a very emotional and painful moment for you yesterday. You've been at Fox since 2003. What prompted you to join now? And talk to me and talk to us about the emotion from yesterday.
Well, I'll first begin with what prompted me to come forward, and that was what took place with Monica, Tashina, and Tabrice.
Those are three other black women.
Yeah, they were the ones who actually ignited this lawsuit because of what happened in their department. And that hurt me, it grieved me, because I thought about collectively how behind the scenes many of us have gone to the water cooler around our computers and we've talked about not just their plight, but the plight of other people of color at the company, and how there have been little remarks like, well, gee, Kelly, if you're blind, you could probably anchor full-time here Monday through Friday. And comments like that began to really sting me, especially when I was trying to work within the framework of the company, talking to my leaders, saying, look, we're better than this. We can do better than this. Even from a sound business decision, let's reach out to all people. And I'm raising my hands as the only black male anchor that you have right now to say, put me in the game. Give me the opportunities to do more. And I thought we were really going to try to do that. But
well, your language is very strong, because the lawsuit says, the color of your skin, you were, quote, effectively sidelined and asked to perform the role of a Jim Crow. That's very, very explosive language.
It's very explosive language, and it actually comes from my attorney. My language would have been more like I wanted to meet the demands that they had on me, show up to work and perform my work 1,000%, which is what I've done. And work at any task that they had given me, which is what I've tried to do, whether it be covering the war in Iraq or doing an overnight report where there's breaking news about Malaysia or a terrorist strike. But emotionally, what got to me was the fact that these are people that I know, people that I care about. There are hardworking people there, even the leaders there. But what's happened is the leaders have not effectively pursued, I think, diversity and inclusion of all people in terms of turning a blind eye to equality over all spectrums of our shows.
That's the point, and you make clear in the complaint that you raised these questions.
I did.
With the leaders before.
Repeatedly.
And what was the response? Was it to
The response was, no, the response was actually, at some point they even agreed with me. I think, well, gee, I'm not talking out of both sides of my mouth here. You're actually sitting across the table and agreeing with me that we should have a program that talks about hope, that we should have a program that lifts up all boats, and that we don't just negatively focus on what happens that's wrong in the black community or Latino community, but we can also show positive things that are going on in those communities to turn the negativity around.
And you suggested those type of stories?
Of course.
And Kelly wasn't the only one that was complaining. I mean, the people that he referenced earlier, the 3 people who started this complaint and others, we represent 13 people right now, had been complaining for years, since 2008, complaining about the racist behavior of Judy Slater. They complained directly to the chief lawyer, Diane Brandy, the general counsel, and she didn't do anything about it year after
Racist
year
behavior
after
like
year.
What? I'm curious about specifics.
Yeah, so Judy Slater would have black people trying to arm wrestle. She would, when people would say goodnight to her, she would put her hands up and say, the don't shoot, mocking the Black Lives Matter movement. She would say things like, somebody who had 3 kids, are they fathered by the same person?
Or why do black men beat?
Yeah, all black men are wife beaters. Really asking black people to pronounce words, repeat after me. So really abhorrent behavior.
It was stunning and really heartbreaking to watch the press conference that you had yesterday. Douglas, let me ask you, what has happened new since yesterday?
Well, we've received many, many calls from people, both on-air talent and people behind the scenes as well.
So this has grown.
Yeah, at Fox News and Fox affiliates as well. And I expect in the coming days or the coming weeks, we'll be having more announcements about new people who are joining this race discrimination lawsuit as it continues to grow. It's systemic there.
Any discussions yet about any type of settlement from the attorneys at 21st Century Fox?
No, there isn't. And, you know, they issued a statement yesterday calling these copycat complaints. Well, this is really just systemic
And
race
right now,
But
Kelly,
it's a
you're
class
still-
action suit.
It is, yes.
You're still
it is.
working there, Kelly. It's been my experience.
As far as I know.
When you sue the company, that normally doesn't go so well. What is that going to be like for you, working under those circumstances where the company knows how you feel about them?
Look, my mother was so proud when I got that job. My mother remains proud of me, even though she's no longer here with me. Before Mom died, she said, "You will enrich Fox, they will enrich you." And I always thought it was about monetary stuff, but what it was really about was trying to enrich the culture and trying to enrich myself as a human being. I trust and believe that God, through all of this, will get glory out of this by unifying not just the employees of Fox News, but this country. This racial divide that's going on, yeah, we can talk about Fox News, but it's happening everywhere. And we as Americans have got to start standing up and saying enough is enough. I hope that the R word, racism, will become like the N word and never used in our vocabulary ever again. Well, to do that, I'll fall on the sword and lead that struggle. Because what happened to my fellow employees and what's happening to some of the employees now who are afraid to come out and talk, and I understand why, because they have families, they have jobs, and they don't want to run the risk of retaliation. They don't want to run the risk of falling into some sort of bankruptcy or whatever. My wife and I have been poor before. We'll be poor again if we have to. But we want to be rich in our character and rich in our love for this country and for the employees and even the leaders that I work with at Fox News.
And if Fox tries to retaliate, I can assure you they're going to be hearing from me.
But right now,
Kelly
you're
Wright,
going to work.
Douglas Wigdor, thank you.
Thank you for
So
having
work.
us.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Thank
being
you
here.
both.
Thank you.
Thank you.